Welcome to this series of Excel. Today we are going to study about one of the very important icon or important function of Excel, that is pivot table. This pivot table is very useful for you if you are a student or if you are an employee. It is very useful for your college work or for your industrialization work. So guys, let's start with one of the most important part of this Excel or important icon of this Excel, that is pivot table. So guys, listen carefully and let's start with pivot table. So first of all, we'll study about what actually this pivot table is and how this pivot table is useful for our work. For example, here you can able to see that one data is there. This data contain the employed ID, employed name, employed age, their sex, then state in which they are working, then type of sales means which type of product they are selling, whether they are selling medicament, whether they are selling cosmetics, nutraceuticals and other general goods, and this is the sale means how many rupees of sales they did in particular time. Okay. So now for example, as a employee, if your boss asks you, I want data from the only data of that employees who sell the products into the Goa state of medicaments only, means your boss want a data of medicament sale only, but specifically from the state of Goa. So how you can shortlist these things from this big amount of data? Actually, this data is a very small data, but whenever you working in the industry, the data is very large. So it is very difficult to find out the particular things from that data. Now, by using pivot table, it is very easy to find a particular information from this data. Or by using a pivot table, it is very easy to convert large amount of data into the useful report to make a conclusion for your organization future decision makings. So guys, for example, here I already said that your boss asked you, I want a data from the Goa state of sale of medicaments only. Okay. So for this purpose, you can first select your whole data. Select your whole data. Okay. Okay. So now here I selected my whole data. Then you can just go and click onto this pivot table. Okay. Now here you can see that table range means we already selected the table. So range is already there. Now where you want your pivot table, whether on the new worksheet or whether on this existing worksheet. So I want in the new worksheet for proper understanding. So here I already new worksheet is clicked. So just press this OK. Okay, now here you can see that this is the pivot table. So in this pivot table, it provides you all the options or all the titles of your table, means employee ID, name, age, sex. It provides all the titles of your table. Below that, it provides you 4 fields. One is column, then row, then values and filter. See, listen carefully. Whatever data you want to sort out, whatever the values are there in the data. For example, in this data, we have the values of sales. So always put that values into this values field. So it is very easy to study. Now, this is the rows field. Always put that thing into this rows field based on which you want to study your data. For example, here I want to study my data based on the name or ID of the employee. Then always put that thing into this row column. So it is very easy to study your other data from based on this name or ID. Okay. Then filter and column. So what we have to put into this filter and column is solely based on the your requirements or your needs, means what you want to find. For example, here I want to find the sale in Goa state of medicaments as my boss asked me. So first of all, put the name into this row field because I want to study based on the name. So drag this name from here and put into the this row column row field. Okay, so I put the name into the row field. After that, values. So I want to study these sale values. So drag this sale values and put into the this values box. Okay, so cancel one. Remove it. Okay, so now the next thing is that based on what I want. For example, now I want based on the state because I want from the Goa states only. So drag this state into this column option. Okay, you can see that straight into this column option. Now, what I want the cell of medicaments only. So type of cell. So drag this type of cell. 1 minute. Drag this type of cell into the filter option. Okay. So whatever the information I want, I already selected. Now go into this your table. Here you can see the new table is there. Okay, 1 minute. Give me 1 minute. I will zoom out it. Okay. So here you can see the new table. So in this table, they provides the data based on the state. But now I want specifically the data of nutraceuticals. So here you can see the filter types of cell you want. So click onto this option. Okay, please give me 1 minute. So type of cell you want. So click onto this. Now what I want only the medicament. Okay, then click onto this medicament and press OK. Here you can see that only the data of medicament you can see onto this screen. Now, what is my second requirement? I want the data from the Goa state only. So these are the column labels. These states are mentioned in the column. So go into this column filter. What I want from the Goa states only. So deselect all and click on this Goa. Okay. Okay. So here you can see that Pawan and Suraj are the only two employees who sell the medicaments in the state of Goa. That is, Pawan sell the medicament of 20,000 and Suraj sell the medicament of 35,000. And this is their total, and this is the grand total. That is they both sell the 55,000 of sales. Means from this data, we can conclude that the sale of medicament in the state of Goa is total of 55,000 rupees, and that sale did by two employees, that is Pawan and Suraj. So this type of conclusion is possible by using this pivot table. So this is a very simple use of this pivot table. Okay, so I hope you understand. The one and most important thing in the pivot table is that always see, I will explain you with one more example. For example, we again take pivot table. Okay, so for example, whatever the things you want, everything is based on the what values you put in all these four fields, that is filter, column, rows and values. See, values is a clear, whatever count you have to do, just put that count into the values. Rows based on what you want to study your data, for example name, id, that put into this row column, and based on your requirement put values into this column and filter option. So to be perfect in the pivot table, you have to do only practice, because practice is the only option to be perfect into the pivot table. Because once you understand that what to put into the which field, you will be the perfect person into the pivot table. So that's it about the pivot table. Now the second thing is that here they also provide the recommended pivot table option. For example, it is very easy. For example, if I select this data and if I click onto this recommended pivot table option, then here you can see that they provides you lots of different types of tables. For example, this is the table in which they provide the data based on the state. For example, if you feel that your requirement might get filled by any of these following option, then you can just click onto this option. For example, if your boss asks you, I want the sale of state wise, then click onto this state, click onto this and okay. And here you can see that all the data based on the state, Goa, Gujarat, and the sale of particular state, and this is the grand total of each and every state. So for this purpose, it is useful. That is the recommended pivot table. 1 minute. Okay. Now the next is third and very important option in the pivot table. Okay, give me some time. Okay, now the third and very important option here is table. So first of all, select your whole data. Here I selected my data, then click onto this table option. Okay, here I selected the range, I already selected that, and press onto this. Okay, so here you can see that automatically a table is applied to your data just to look your data nice. And the most important advantage of this table option of insert is that because of this table data, the insert option, the filter option automatically get attached to your data. For example, now it is very easy to sort out my data. For example, if I want the state wise, then just go into this filter, click on the state you want. For example, here I want the data from Gujarat state, then click onto this Gujarat and press OK, and you can see that data from the Gujarat state only. So it is also very useful option, that is the table option. From this table you can also able to change the styles of your table. Different styles are also available there. Okay, so this is the table option. Now for example, if you want to remove this table option, then go into the design and just click onto this remove table option. 1 minute, please give me a 1 minute. Select it. Okay, so this is the data. So if you want to remove it, then just select it, go into this insert, and they provide you table design option, and click onto this convert to range option. For example, if you don't want this table option, or if you don't want these filters to your data, then just click on this convert to range option from the table design, so that your data automatically get changed. And see that now you can see that no filter is there, and your data is automatically changed to previous mode. So this is the very simple idea about the three important icons of Excel, that is pivot table. It is used to sortify your data based from the large amount of data to find a proper conclusion. Then recommended pivot table, it provides you certain automatic tables. If you feel that your requirement might get filled by that mentioned table, then you can just click onto that particular table. And third is table. Table is to just apply the filters to your headings of your data, and just to give different looks to your data. So this is all about the three important icons. So that's it guys. Thank you. Hope you understand very